Hey, how are you guys doing? And we got another Sunday, which means we got another episode of Love Live Superstar. This one being Season 3, Episode 2. This one is called TomaKanoTe's, which of course takes the bunch of the part of the names of each girl. So Tomari, Kanon, and Margaret. So that's how we get that name. So of course we can expect that episode to be about them. So of course we're going to go jump straight into the episode. If you want to watch this through the main legal source, that would be Crunchyroll. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the episode. So we pick off right after the first episode where we see Kanon says she's going to apply to Wien's club, but she's like, you can't do that. You're my rival. You are part of Liella. Liella members are not allowed. And Kanon's like, why not? And she's like, well, Liella is the enemy and you might even be a spy. You're going to sabotage me and cause a lot of trouble. And to be fair, they did have this scene where they were very spy-like. So, maybe she has a point. Of course, Kanon's like, I'm not going to do that. Tomari comes in and saying, you technically have to let her in because you said that and then try to change it afterwards, so contractually you should do that. It's like, who the heck is this girl? And Kanon's like, I don't know. But Tomari's like, it's about Squirrel, so therefore I must get involved. But of course, she's just here to apply to join the club, and then she just kind of leaves, and the girl's like, who the heck is this person? But as Tomari gets far away enough, she says, I shall see for myself, sister dearest, which we kind of know who that is. So then the rest of Liella is having a conversation, and Cuckoo is kind of pissed off, like, why is Kanon joining them? And she gets like, well, obviously it's black magic. You know how they do that in the West. She must use some sorcery to get Kanon hypnotized to think Liella is the enemy. Which, why is Kanon always the one who's involved with the weird magics? You know what? Maybe Sumire and Wien might actually be better friends than we first thought, considering their share of the arts, let's say. But Tomari's like, oh, that's gonna be perfect for content. We have a traitor. And look, they even have proof that Kanon's a traitor. So Kuku's like, man, why didn't you stop this? Rand tells her, like, it's not really anything I can do. But of course, Cuckoo's still mad. And it's like, how could you do this? This is always your fault. I'm pissed. And, Cuckoo, you need to calm down. You're getting a little much. But Chisato is saying, I don't think she's being tricked. So then we get to see Kanon talking with Wien. And they are talking about the Yoyogi Festival, which we already seen this before. That's where they had tiny stars. And that's where Wien performed earlier. So this is just them doing it again, except this time they kind of have a new group. So this festival can serve as the purpose of an introduction to them, and they even said a group that receives 10,000 likes will be invited as a special guest. Why is that important? Because technically only one Squirrel group can attend per school, so they can't attend because there's no one that can beat Liella, but they can be special guests if they meet that requirement. Wien's like, why do I even need this requirement? I beat Liella, I'm better. But Kanon's like, no, that's not really the point. The whole point is that we're here to make sure people have fun, and since we're technically not better than Liella, we have to meet that requirement of getting 10,000 likes. Tomari then comes in and talks about money and profits and how they can make a lot of money, but the other girl's like, profit? What are you talking about? We're not here to make money. There's no advertising, there's no merchandise, there's no sales. We're doing this because we want to be able to have other people be happy and enjoy it. And Tomari's like, well, okay, I don't understand the point of this, and I'm not going to practice because I think that's just a waste of time. The girl's like, waste of time? Why do you think practice is a waste of time? So then Tomari goes out and pulls out her moves, which, I don't know, it seems okay to me. Nothing super impressive, but apparently it blows the girl's mind. It's like, oh my god, she is the best dancer we've ever seen. Man, don't you do ballet? Have you not seen Ren do ballet? Okay. But apparently that's good enough, and then she hands out her application form to the girls, saying, I'm going to join. And then they read her name, Onisuka Tomari. Wait a second. Onisuka? Isn't that familiar? Yep. That is Onisuka Natsumi is the older sister. So Ren, of course, sees all the forms, and then she tells Natsumi about Tomari, and she kind of blows a casket. Like, what the heck? Tomari applied there? And the rest of the girls like, wait, you have a younger sister that's applying to their club? And she's like, what? No, I don't know what you're talking about. We just happen to have the same last name, because that's definitely a thing. Shiki pulls out an app, which I guess looks at her temperatures, and apparently you can tell she's lying from that. Okay. And of course the girls get mad. It's like, why is your sister betraying us? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So the girls are like, yo, tell me. But her younger sister Tomari comes in and says, I'm going to go explain it myself. And her goal is to see the true nature of school idol activities. Why can't she do that in Liella? Well, she feels that she might be influenced by Natsumi, and she doesn't want that to happen. And of course, the main thing she's interested in is actually the fact that she wants to make money. If something doesn't make money or will give you the prospect of making a lot more money in the future, there is no importance to that. And she wants to see if school idols can actually accomplish that or not. And she sees that Natsumi is doing this, but not because the fact that this can make money, because it helps her achieve her dream. And Natsumi's like, no, I didn't say that. What are you talking about? I'm only about money. I'm a greedy person. Okay. But basically that's kind of the idea of what she wants to do. She's going to analyze the school idol group. Can this make money? Why the heck is my older sister doing this? And she wants to do it in a different one where she won't get influenced by Natsumi. So Natsumi even says this, which is this even possible? Tomari cares about money even more than I do. Greedy is kind of a big part of her personality, but apparently Tomari has one up to her, except she doesn't have this very vibrant personality. And Tomari only cares about something if it makes a profit. If it doesn't, then it's a waste of time. So basically, we got two very greedy sisters, and the reason why Tomari's kind of cold to her is because her sister betrayed her, and now she no longer only is interested about money. So we get to see Wien, she's doing her little twirl, practice being a school idol, and kind of like, oh my god, that's so cute. And then Wien's like, nah. And I guess she's like going to tsundere mode or something like that. So then Wien's like, why am I doing all this stuff? I don't get it. Then Kanon's like, well, why do you even like singing in the first place? So Wien's like, well, everyone in my family is a musician. And that of course reminds me of Mia Taylor, where her whole family is filled with musicians and they're all famous and they have a lot of music talent. But that ended up just becoming more of, that's what she has to do, that's what her family's good at, and I'm not doing it because I enjoy it, I'm doing it because that's what I'm good at. That of course means that you're not enjoying what you're doing, and of course that very much goes against what Kanon's about, and I'm doing this because I like it, because it is fun. So then Wien goes back, and we get to see baby Wien, where she was basically alone home and crying because she's alone, but then she heard a voice singing very angelically in the background, and that's kind of what made her like singing. Kan's like, yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's the whole point. That's what I've been trying to tell you. We all sing because we want to make other people smile. And as she's done saying that, she of course is right outside her house, and she's like, why are you still here? And then she learns, wait, what the heck? Wien's coming into my house? Why the heck is this? So she lives here? So apparently what happened is she actually is going to stay with them. They basically kicked her dad out and saying, well, let's might as well bring in your hated rival in, right? But basically that's what she's going to do. She's going to work there and she's going to stay with them, and Wien pulls out her tsundere mode again, like, I'm not saying here to be your friend. So we get to see her dad's room, which, you know, just the study and not much there, and Kanon's like, welcome, and let's go make a song together. And so she pulls out a guitar and they're ready to make a song. Then Wien's like, well, I don't know how to do school idol songs. I don't know what's good with them, which I guess that kind of explains why you lost last year, right? So the girls end up start working something, but in the meantime, we get to see Natsumi outside of her sister's door and telling her something actually profound and saying, you know, I want you to actually enjoy being a school idol and be able to do stuff with them and try to see why Natsumi likes being a school idol. Tomari in her room was, well, actually we get to see the jellyfish in the room, which, you know, that's her symbol if you're wondering. So I thought it was kind of neat that she actually has that in her room, but she's focusing on the fact that the school idol group that she's in is going to hurt her in the end because it's not making that dollar bills, y'all. So the next day, the three girls are together and they are prepping for performing at the Yoyogi Festival. And Tomari basically made some website to hype them up and saying, you're guys gonna get 50,000 viewers, so that's gonna be great. Then they start working on the lyrics, which I guess they write lots of lyrics on the board, and it said that Wien's going to be the center. So hey, official center confirmation. And Wien's like, alright, I'm gonna do it and we're gonna make the song. The girls start doing some actual practice. Tomari's actually there, and she does a swirl in the air, and apparently that's mind-boggling and blowing their minds. Sure, I guess, I don't know. And they're like, oh yeah, I could totally do that. And then they start talking about the outfits, and Tomari's like, yo, we're gonna make so much money, gonna have a unique monetization system, we're gonna milk people dry. Kanon's like, no, that's not the point of what we're trying to do. So then we jump into the day of the performance, and we get to see the stage where it's like Aurora, so it looks kind of nice, and the girls are getting ready. Kanon's like, you girls look cute, but there's one thing that is a little bit off. So we get to see that there's the amount of viewers on the page. It's 8,007 people, and keep in mind, they need 10,000 likes to get into the guest performance for the Yoyogi Festival. And if they don't get 10,000 likes, they likely won't make it in. 8,000 viewers is obviously a problem because even if everybody liked it, they still wouldn't get enough. So in reality, you probably need more like 50 or 100,000 to potentially reach that number. So unless double, triple liking is a thing, they're in trouble and they might not be able to make it to the festival. So we see the rest of Liella, and they're a little worried. They see the low amount of viewers. They see a lot of people are saying negative things about the girl, especially Wien, because she had a violent outburst in the last season where she got kind of pissed at the fact that she lost. If you remember, she had a little outburst yelling at them and denying the results. You can't do this. This is not a political election. Basically the girls are very down, and they're saying, oh, we probably shouldn't even do this. And you can see even Tomari seems to be a little down, which is interesting considering the way she was behaving beforehand. And Wen's like, yeah, we're kind of toast and it's my fault. And she is very down on herself, which what happened to that I'm going to destroy everybody else mentality that she had last episode. But of course, this kind of setup is very reminiscent of like in Tiny Stars, where fun fact, they're at the Yoyogi Festival where things went wrong. The girls lost power and they got really worried. Or heck, you even go to Love Live Sunshine, where again they lost power and they girls were really down on themselves and I'm not sure what they need to do. But like for every other one, they're like, we just gotta perform and we gotta believe in ourselves and show the rest that we actually have some stuff here to be proud of. So the girls decide, you know what, we are going to perform, and the girls are getting ready, and hopefully we will get what we need after we perform. So then the girls hold hands together and they're getting ready to perform, and without further ado, we'll go over the first song for this group. It's called Bubble Rise, so let's get a listen to that one. So this song was Bubble Rise, and I gotta say, the stage and a lot of the effects, it looks pretty nice. We got a decent outfit. I like a little more color in some of the parts that weren't the gradients, but otherwise you get to see like a lot of the ball effects, the sparkles, and just the way they did the cinematography looks really nice. The stage isn't the most exciting out there, but I did like the aurora effects that they got with the kind of curtains and how it's glittery. I think that looks really nice overall. So stage-wise, I think it's pretty decent, honestly, and some certain shots really make that stage look really nice. I wish there was a little bit more out there, but overall, it's a pretty decent one. The song itself, I think it's fine, nothing that's mind-blowing. I'm mostly intrigued by the actual look at it, the MV part of it. The song is fine for me. So then we do a SpongeBob-like transition with Bubbles, and Wien says she actually had fun singing, which, you know, it's not something she has had before. So Kanon's really happy to see Wien is starting to change. Tomari's like, what the heck? I don't think that has any value. So Kanon's like, I'll get you later. You're going to change in the future. But for right now, she's gotten her. And we got Cuckoo and Mei crying and being really happy with the idol performance. Love to see it. And then the girls then go in together for a kind of big hug. Kanon's really happy for these girls that performed. We get a little preview of the next episode. This one is white colored center. And looks like we're going to get potentially some early looks at young Mei or Shiki. And we get to see Shiki hugging this, I guess, for her love for Mei. It's, I guess, the guess. So we're potentially getting some Mei Shiki action here. So I definitely think they need some development here and get a little more love, because they're starting to fall in people's opinions, because what have they done recently? And last but not least, we have another Liella no Uta. This is, again, adults, but this is the Tomari version. But yeah, that concludes the episode. So we actually got to see this small unit get to perform a song, the TomaKanoTe's group. Kind of like how we had Kuka, I guess. Not officially going to be how they label it. It's just going to be those three girls, but it's cool to see that. The song-wise, I was hoping to have a little bit more of a Wien flavor from before, but I guess the whole point is that she's going more school idol-y than what she was before. But I still thought it would have been kind of cool if they had a Wien spin, a little bit more darker and intense in there. So, I don't know, a little disappointed by the song, but I'm so glad we got to see these girls perform together. I thought that was nice to have, and I was hoping that would become a thing, so that's cool. And I guess maybe later we'll potentially see Liella perform, or maybe they'll just make them wait until they join. But I'm curious to see, how do you feel about Wien's transformation as she is slowly becoming less of that stalkery girl that was stalking Kanon and always being mean and in your face, now that she's showing a little bit more of her softer side. And I'm curious, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about Kanon being a part of the rival unit? What do you guys think about that? I personally think that's a nice change that makes something more unique and has a different feel. So I'm curious to see how you guys feel about that. And how do you feel about Tomari so far? We just got a little bit of her. We get to see a little bit of why she is behaving the way she is, and why she is in the rival group now instead of with her older sister. So I guess at some point we'll get that resolution with those two girls. Looks like obviously not the next episode. We get some probably Mei Shiki action, so maybe that'll be in the future. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. I do have a poll where you can rank these girls after this episode, so please let me know what you guys feel about these girls at this episode, and the link for that will be in the description. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and hope to catch you guys in another video soon.